Hey guys, this is OddOneGaming. This is going to be another Raid Shadow Legends video. In today's video, we're gonna have a look at something really fun, and that's going to be a Hydra team that I've not came up with, but I guess I built. I guess I came up with, I don't know. I just built this team, and that's showcasing one of the few faction unity champions that we have out there, and I was fortunate enough to pull one of them recently, and the one that I'm talking about is Legate Teox. You might have already seen a few videos out there and whatnot, but the whole idea about him is the fact that he's such an insane damage dealer, not only for Hydra, but for even in Arena if you can build a fun team around him. And just want to show you the team that I built. I'm basically showcasing. It's not a free-to-play guide because obviously you have to have him first of all in order to build a team, and then maybe a few other champions alongside him. But what makes him so powerful? Well, let's go through his kit shortly. So A1, double hit, the ally with the highest crit damage to team up to join the attack. They're gonna both use the default skill. Damage of this champion ally increases by 10% for each debuff on the target, stacks up to 100%. So this A1 can be really powerful, especially if you pair it with somebody like a Dracomorph that also can do up to 100% more damage depending on the debuffs, plus the buff that you get from Teox. It can do some obscene numbers. And then the A2 triple hit will ignore 10% target's defense for each debuff on the target. Again, stacks up to 50%. Each hit will also increase this champion's attack. Stacks up to 50%. So after the 5th time that you use it, you're gonna have 50% more attack. And if I'm not mistaken, this one usually counts on the total attack that you have. This is pretty crazy. Grants an extra turn if this attack kills an enemy. Does not really work for the Hydra, or at least I haven't seen it work. Just this one's good for Arena. But then the A3 and then the passive, it's what it's all about. So attacks all enemies before attacking, puts increased attack, increased crit damage on himself for 2 turns. Place an extra hit on enemies under debuffs, okay? That's already strong on its own. Just doing a double hit with a self-brought increased attack and increased crit damage, that's huge. But then at the same time, the thing that makes it amazing, especially at least for Hydra, the A3, the third part, if you have 3 more Lizardmen alongside, deals 20% more damage for each debuff on each enemy, stacks up to 100%. This one does obscene numbers. Like I've seen this one do almost 3 million damage a hit on decapitated heads with decreased defense and weaken out there. So this one's pretty amazing. Then also the cool passive fills the champion's turn meter by 5% whenever an enemy or an ally receives a debuff. What does this mean? Considering the fact that it has no cooldown, you basically can build him as slow as you want. As long as you have enough debuffs that you place or have placed on yourself, he's always gonna keep getting those turns, even with close to 0 extra speed. But then also the cool stuff, the cool part about this one, at least again for Hydra, is the second part, okay? Actually, even the first one has a 25% chance to counterattack when an ally is attacked by an enemy under debuff, which in Hydra you should have most of the time. If there are multiple champions on this team, will only activate once. So only one will do it, but then this is the part that is also really amazing for him and his allies. Decreases damage this champion receives from enemies under debuffs by 50%. That's huge. 50% damage mitigation is basically having, I guess double strengthen, right? Imagine if you pair this with a strengthen, you're basically barely gonna take any damage. So it's kind of like inbuilt damage mitigation. The damage allies receives from enemies under debuffs by 20% as well. So this one also mitigates the damage that your allies take by 20%, which I guess this one's kind of like the equivalent of strengthen, that's 25% less damage taken. And then the last part, all allies immune to sheep debuffs. This is obviously amazing for Arena if you can get a team around, around them with somebody like Romantu, Krisk, maybe Python if you can make that work. Aura, attack in all battles 30% and 40 for all the accuracy in all battles, only for Lizardman. So this one's, he's pretty strong overall. I'm just gonna go in there, show you the team that I'm using. This team, the really fun thing about this is the fact that this team is full auto, okay? I did not touch anything, did not click anything, and this team did over 1 billion full auto. That's what makes it amazing. That's what I usually want for Hydra, because it takes long enough to do Hydra runs anyway. So if I can get a full auto team, which I do or try to do for most of my teams, I'm gonna do that. Just go full auto and see how it goes. So I'm using Duchess, Nekmorthar, then Krisk, Dracomorph, Sun Wukong, and then Legate himself. So the reason why I have like this pairing is, obviously when it comes to my Lizardman, I would really love to have somebody that I do not have, but the best pairing for a Hydra team alongside him would be somebody like a Hierophant Lazarius. I don't have that. I tried this team with Python, I tried this team with Fushan, didn't work as well, and I don't think there's anybody else powerful enough for me to replace, to bring instead of these ones. Like the only one that maybe I would replace is Necmothar, but there's not, you know, strong enough. Krisk is obviously for Krisk reasons. Dracomorph is actually a pretty fun one because he does bring us the debuffs, A with decreased defense and weaken, that he places, does not have to hit, so this one's really good. He does bring a really strong hit on the A1, which is the reason why I built him with the second highest crit damage, so that whenever Teox does the A1, he's gonna come and join in. And then I do have, he also does poison. So obviously, considering the fact that he keeps doing debuffs out there, he enables Legate's Teox's kit a lot. Obviously, Chris doing Chris stuff, and then Necmo, same principle. And the reason I brought Sun Wukong, he's in my damage arena build. I brought him for the block buffs and also for the damage. You know, I don't think I have a better block buffs champion that also brings me damage, so that's why I just went with this. I'm just gonna start this a little bit just to show you that, you know, this one goes full auto. I just leave it from the beginning. I do have a recording. I already recorded my run yesterday. I didn't save it. Maybe I should have saved it, but you know, this, you know what, this is a small mistake because he goes so fast. Maybe I should make him open with the A2 first, okay? Just for the initial one, because he does the A3 you saw, even though he barely has any speed. I think he's like 200 speed or something like that. Yeah, 216. He just cuts in front of my Draco that was decreased defense weaken because of the debuffs placed by Necmothar. Was it Necmothar? Yeah, because of the debuffs placed by Necmothar and Kresk. You see, he's already like, I got it. Let me go in with the A2. So the sheer damage that he brings is just obscene. Obviously, the same team can work on Nightmare. The reason why I went on Brutal is because on Nightmare, I'm using the cheese team of Wixwell plus Yannicka. But look at that A1. Look at the counterattack. He basically, in like 6 hits, he's gonna kill the Head of Mischief. The damage output is just obscene. Like, again, like I've seen the numbers that he can do. Hopefully I can show you, like, once we have decapitated heads and maybe Draco manages to put the decreased defense weaken again. I just want to show you at the beginning the damage that he actually does with that A3 on decapitated heads. Let's see, can we get it? Okay, no, he already did that. Let's see, maybe I think I should be able to get back around it. The only bad part, it's like not that bad, but it affects his damage, is the fact that we have the Head of Suffering. When the Head of Suffering is out, obviously he's not going to do as much damage from the A3 as, like, you know, the maximum potential because it is mitigated. Maybe now he has the A3, let's see, slow it down. Okay, I guess he wants to counterattack. Look at that, 250 a pop almost. Okay, Duchess, come on, let's see, did he proc the cooldown? No, okay, he didn't. So I have to wait for another rotation. But look at that, even on the A1, you saw that he did 1.3 million on each hit on the A1. And now I think this is the A3. Come on, Teox, do your A3 with decreased defense and weaken out there. Let's show them how much, let's show the people how much damage you do. And look at that, he keeps counterattacking. I guess that passive is really strong, even though it's only 25%. Look at that, 2 million, 3.1 million, and 3 million on the one on the right. The damage is just obscene. Like I said, the damage that this guy does is just obscene. It's just like, oh my god, he's definitely my he's definitely one of my new favorite champions in the game. I already had, like, you know, Marius being my favorite, but when it comes to raw damage, Marius is just capped because of the fact that he does not do raw damage. He does based on max HP, and obviously there's a limit. There's only 10% that Marius can do, whereas Legate, you saw, he did 3 million. So this is a really fun, a really amazing thing. I just love it. Look at that, boom, boom, 900. Draco's gonna join if he doesn't weak hit. Okay, he weak hit and still did 100k, but you pretty much saw the damage that we did. So I guess let me just show you the preset first, and then I'm gonna show you the end result, because like I said, I recorded it. So Duchess, priority A3, then the A2, Necmo, A3, A2 priorities, Krisk, same thing, A3, A2. Dracomorphs open with the A3 and then prioritize the A3. The reason why I do this is because sometimes if there is one weaken or one decreased defense or like a few of them out there, he's not going to do the A3 anymore. And you always want to have decreased defense and weaken placed on the targets. One thing that I will have to do is swap his masteries, because now he's down defense 3. I want to give him Master Hexer so he has a chance to extend these. Then Sun Wukong, same thing, priority A3, second priority the A2. You really want to do this, especially for the A2, because for some reason Sun Wukong does not like to use the A2 in Hydra unless he knows he can kill something, and that's really bad. You're losing on damage. So that's why if you're using Sun Wukong in Hydra and you're doing full auto, make sure you prioritize the A3 and the A2. And then Legate, obviously you saw I make him open with the A2 and then prioritize the A3. You want this A3 to happen as often as possible because it does obscene number of, obscene damage, as you've seen. So I guess now let's have a look at the damage that I actually did, because it's going to be beautiful. I just started recording this towards the end. yesterday, you can see like we're hitting the turn limit. That's the thing. We're actually hitting the turn limit, so it's not like we're dying because we're dying. No, we hit the turn limit full auto, didn't click it, but when we come to the end, I guess like, you know, this one ended and I just was doing stuff and I was outside with a baby and I forgot. But we can see that the end result over here is 1.1 billion damage. Like, I think, did he do an A3 just to end it off? Let's see. No, an A2. Boom, boom, boom. Look at that. 1 million, 1 million, 1 million. It's just obscene numbers. So he did the total damage was 1.1 billion damage. I'm pretty happy with this damage on Brutal, considering I don't have him awakened. I don't have him like empowered. It's just, you know, 1-star heaven cast. That's it. He did almost 700 million damage on his own. Then we had Draco 105, Sun Wukong with 88. Krisk did 183 million because of the fact that he has a curse set, so the Hex, 23 from neck point, obviously Duchess, 2.2, basically nothing. But the sheer damage that he puts is just obscene. Let me show you the build that I actually have on him. I'm gonna quickly go through, I guess, the other one, Duchess, 9-piece protection. These are our masteries. I'm mostly gonna show the build of him, like, more emphasized, because he's the priority. Then Sun Wukong, he's in an arena build. You can see with Helm Smasher, he's in Savage plus Cruel. Then Krisk, he's in the Cursor. Like I said, everybody's gonna be fully booked. Then these are Krisk's masteries. Then we have Draco Morph. Again, these are his masteries. I think I'm gonna swap Draco to Master Hexer and maybe even to Arcane Celerity. He places lots of debuffs, so I want him to come back to his skills more often. But he's running Savage plus Cruel. Okay, like I said, he's the one that's running higher crit damage, 297. The next one would have been Sun Wukong, 283. It was hard for me to do this because having a 5-star Sun Wukong means that from the 5-star he gets the 38 extra crit damage. So, you know, hopefully maybe one day I get a 5-star Draco as well. That would be cool. Then Necmostar, he's actually in a provoke set. This kind of helps in case Krisk gets devoured and the head of Decay is out there. You want to have kind of like a backup provoker in case you don't kill it, you know, fast enough with Teox, and that's what it helps. But if you don't want that, I guess he could go in a Necmostar could also go in a curse set, and maybe Krisk could be something else, like, I don't know, Guardian or whatever, anything else that would help. And then let's look at the main event's build. So he's gonna have a pretty strong build. He is in a 6-piece Merciless, which obviously gives you ignore. Defense 35% plus, the 30% chance to decrease the skill cooldown by 1 turn when dealing damage. So he's gonna do a lot of damage because he always has double, triple, or hits. This is gonna proc pretty often, and this is the best one that you can get on him. Merciless 6-piece. Obviously, if I had strong enough 9-piece, I would go with that, but I don't have strong enough. Like, I don't even think I have a banner in this one, in Merciless, or maybe I have, but it's really, really bad. Oh, I just got one. It's not the best. So yeah, that's why I run Merciless and then crit damage. Obviously, I fully awakened, fully ascended all the gear as much as I could, and I'm running him at 216 speed, 296 crit damage, 7.8k attack. That's a lot. That's a lot, but, you know, like I said, I just try to min-max him to, you know, make him to the maximum potential that I can do on my account. Even though, you know, it could be better because I have some 5-star pieces, 5-star over here that I'm losing some crit damage. But you know what, it's good enough. Fully booked, and then masteries, I did go with Helm Smasher on him, right? Helm Smasher, then anything, a little bit of Life Drinker, also Cycle of Violence. You know what, because he does so much damage, he even has a chance to proc this on Hydra, because sometimes if there's decreased defense out there and there's buffs, he could do 30% of the damage of their max HP in a single hit, and you know, he could proc this decreased cooldown as well, so that's why this one's really good. Obviously, you want Methodical to even increase the damage more, you want Kill Streak to increase the damage more, and then when it comes to the other side, I went Defense Tree because, well, there's nothing you want on the support tree. Like, he doesn't do debuffs, and the only buffs that he does on himself, he comes back to them pretty often. Plus, Duchess also puts the buffs on him, so, you know, I didn't think there was anything else I would go for. I went down with this one, and I don't think I really want Deterrence. It's only 20% chance, whereas these two are just straight up damage boost. Okay, 12% and 10% that are guaranteed after you hit, you know, after you do enough hits. That's pretty much maxed out, so that one's better from my point of view than Deterrence, considering the fact that he also has a chance to counterattack anyway on his passive if somebody, or if himself or an ally is attacked while under a debuff. But I guess that's gonna be pretty much it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I really, really love Legate Teox. He's just an amazing damage dealer, and I really want to make a video on him. I want to make a video on him, show you the team that I'm using, and share it with you guys in case you're thinking what you should build, if you should build this team and whatnot. But let me give another quick, like, have a look at the faction champions that are available for Lisbon, just to give you some options in case you don't have like some of these three. So the good pairings are obviously these are the top three because of the reasons that I said. Obviously Draco, decreased defense, weaken poisons. Krisk, he's the best, one of the best champions for Hydra. Nekmothar, same principle, one of the best champions of Hydra. But then other viable options would be somebody like a Pythian. Okay, if you don't have a good enough reviver, Pythian can be good. Strengthen, cleanse, healing, damage mitigation from 2 people with buffs. What's his name? Oh my god, why can I not brain? What's his name? Romantu. He might not be the best. He's not as good because this one's single target, unfortunately. If this was like, you know, some AoE buffs, he'd be good. Otherwise, I wouldn't use him in Hydra. Another one that you could use would be somebody even like a Vergamkar, okay? Hear me out. He brings decreased defense, he brings heal reduction, removes 2 debuffs, puts increased defense, puts shields, and removes all provokes, okay? Sorry, all provokes and a debuff, and then removes 2 buffs from the enemy. Plus, he's immune to provoke himself. If you don't have a better, you know, if you don't have the Draco and you need a decreased defense champion there, and you want to make it be a Lizardman, Vergamkar could be your option. Obviously, if we have a look at the ones that I don't have, there's gonna be, like I said, the best one to pair with him would be Hierophant Lazarius because he also brings us block buffs, okay? If I would bring him, that means I could drop Stan Wukong and I can bring somebody else in Stan Wukong's spot, and then he also has a passive chance to revive. And then another one, Vargal, could be good. He does bring provoke and AoE decreased attack. Sulfurion would be god tier. I would love a Sulfurion. Chagur again could be a really good one because he brings AoE decreased defense and AoE decreased defense. Again, really good champion with some poisons. And there was another one that I didn't have that I was thinking. Even Roxanne, you know what? Even though he's not the best, he could be another decreased defense weekend champ. Even though it's on a 4-turn, but you just have to make sure that he's on the perfect veil when he does that. So yeah, I think this one pretty much covers it for today, guys. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like it, subscribe to the channel to see when I upload next, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. Peace, love, take care, everyone. Bye, guys.